Thank you, Ron, and of course, a huge, huge thank you to all the panelists. Thank you, Kelly, Diana, Chris, Shelley, and Raoult. That was absolutely amazing. The next portion of our conference is designed to highlight the incredible work done by some fantastic science communicators. Now, first spotlight talk is going to be given by Kirsten Banks. Kirsten is a science communicator and astrophysicist at the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. She's passionate about space, Aboriginal astronomy, and sharing her love for the cosmos with the world. Kirsten, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for introducing me, Covey. It's so humbling to be invited onto this conference to talk about all about SciComm. It's fantastic because SciComm is my life, basically. So let me introduce myself for those who may not know me or may not have heard of me before. My name is Astro Kirsten. Just by the way, it is 6:30 in the morning where I am in Australia. The sun is just starting to rise. So we'll see how the brain works. The cognitive ability of my brain is not going so well this morning, but we'll get there. My name is Kirsten Banks, or Astro Kirsten, as you may know me on all the social medias. I'm an astrophysicist and science communicator, and I've always had a passion for the skies. When I was in primary school, I actually wanted to be a meteorologist. So imagine just smaller Kirsten at 3 years old saying in kindergarten, I want to be a meteorologist. And apparently I knew what that word meant because I wanted to learn more about the weather and the sky. And I was fascinated by storms and tornadoes. I would watch Storm Watch on National Geographic. But then in high school, the defining moment for me was in about year 9 or year 10. So I was about 15 years old. My science teachers took my entire year group on an excursion to go see this documentary about the Hubble Space Telescope. I'm sure we have all seen a beautiful photo of Hubble, or a photo taken by Hubble at least once in our lifetimes, because it is just gorgeous. So I was sitting there watching this huge screen with these one-size-fits-none, honestly, glasses slipping off my face for this 3D movie, and I was just inspired by the mystery of our universe, and I needed to learn more about space. And that's what kind of led me towards being an astrophysicist. But funnily enough, I hated public speaking. I was terrified of public speaking when I was in primary school and high school. I would shake, I would sweat, I would just not be comfortable at all. But my science communication journey started when I decided to get a job at Sydney Observatory, which is this museum in Sydney that it's not a working observatory. It stopped working as a functioning observatory in the 1980s and was a museum ever since. So I got a job there in my first year of university, and turns out I have a knack for science communication, and I really, really enjoyed talking about space and astronomy with anyone and everyone who was willing to listen. So that's where my science communication journey started. And from there, I started to get a lot more opportunities. So while working at Sydney Observatory, I actually got on an episode of Play School. It's awesome. For those who may not know Play School, it's this children's show in Australia that every single child watches when they're growing up. Every single one. So I got an episode on Play School. I went through, I think, the diamond door or the diamond window. Wanted to go through the round window. Not going to lie, it looks like a telescope, but you get the window you get when you go on Play School. But from there, I was just getting more and more opportunities. And my outlook in life is to just follow these opportunities and see where it leads. And so far, it's led me to here, which I'm really happy to be here and to talk to you guys about my SciComm journey. So from these opportunities, I've also gone to do mostly school talks. So I love talking at schools, especially primary schools and high schools, because talking to children is so important, because that was the moment when I found my calling and my passion for the universe. You know, we're so curious when we're younger that we need to be open to what we want to learn about. So I love talking at schools. I also do lots of public talks as well, conferences like what we're doing right now, and a little bit of radio and TV. It's lots and lots of fun. But all of that changed in 2020. Everything got flown out the window, and suddenly we weren't allowed to go anywhere. I couldn't go to schools. The schools shut down. I couldn't go to public talks. They were all cancelled or moved online, which it was difficult, right? We've all been there. We've all had to move online. We've all had to change the way that we live so drastically because of this global pandemic that we are encountering and still battling through today. So I had this itch. I still had this SciComm itch, and I had to do something, but I couldn't do what I used to do because of those limitations. I couldn't go to schools. I couldn't go to public talks. I couldn't do that. But then I found this app called TikTok, and I decided, mostly out of boredom, that I wanted to go and try TikTok. So I joined TikTok actually about a year ago, a year and a few days ago. And I noticed when I was watching through TikTok and just scrolling, checking out what's going on, that there wasn't a lot of science content or space content on TikTok. It was just, people lip syncing to common songs and popular songs, or doing dances for, can't believe I just did that on a live conference, but here we are. But, people were dancing to popular songs, and that was mostly what TikTok was. There wasn't a lot about science. So I decided to change that. I wanted to change this and bring more science to TikTok. But it was going to be a challenge, because on TikTok, for those who may not be on the platform, which if you're not on TikTok, stay that way. It is a black hole of your productivity, depending on how you use it. But TikTok, when you post a video on TikTok, you are limited to 60 seconds. Now, I'm an astrophysicist. Astrophysics is hard. There are lots of very complex topics within astrophysics and talking about the universe. How on earth was I going to squish this huge amount of knowledge and this huge amount of information into just 60 seconds? So it posed this challenge to me to try and change the way that I do SciComm. So I realized that I had to be much more fluid with my science communication. And I'll tell you what, I thought I understood how to do science communication. I thought I understood how to engage an audience for 90 minutes on a tour at the observatory. I thought I knew how to engage children in a 60-minute period of time for a lesson. Boy, was I under a false sense of security, because that all changed in 2020 with TikTok. Because the thing is, people's attention spans are so short. So even if I were to make a video for 60 seconds explaining the cosmic microwave background radiation, it may not perform well because it goes for way too long. This short, sharp content is what does well on TikTok. And so what I did is I just kind of tried different things. When I joined TikTok, there was no blueprint. There was no science content, right? So there was no blueprint. There was nothing to follow and nothing to copy or gain inspiration from. So what I did is just tried a few different things, tried a few different topics, tried a few different ways of introducing those topics, tried a few different ways of even just telling information and giving information without even talking. So one of my favorite videos that I'm so proud of over the last year is this video I made. It was 15 seconds long. 15 seconds. Didn't speak at all. All I did was held up my iPad with different planets on it and spun around to show the different speeds at which the planets in our solar system rotate. So you start with Mercury going very slow, Venus going slow but backwards, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. But then I think this was the part that really, what I attribute my success in 2022 is for Uranus. The tilt of Uranus is about 90 degrees. So what I did is I took my iPad, I got down on the floor, and I rolled around on the floor, pretending to be Uranus. So whenever I'm asked what would I attribute my success to, I cannot speak. Success, that's the word. What can I attribute my success to? And that is rolling on the floor, pretending to be Uranus. It's quite the conversation starter. But here's what I've learned so far with making these videos. What I've learned so far is that people have really short attention spans. So the shorter the video, the better it performs, and the more that people see it, and the more that people get inspired by space. Whether they're young kids on the platform and they're getting inspired by space for the first time, or if they're part of the older generation who have lost touch with their curiosity with space, then they are reignited and excited once again to learn about space and astronomy, which is just, I love both ends of that spectrum. things to do as well is to try and have fun with your science communication. If you're having fun and that comes through off the screen, people are going to enjoy it. But here's a thing to remember as well. Keep in mind that you're not going to please everybody. So TikTok is quite a global platform. If I have a look at my analytics, most of my followers are from the US, which the US use imperial measurements instead of metric. So with every single video that I make, to make it accessible to everyone, is not only do I include distances in kilometers, I also include distances in miles. You know, it's speed in kilometers per second, miles in speed in miles per second. Okay, making it accessible for everyone so that everyone can understand it and everyone has it in a language that they can understand. But the thing is, the final things I want to bring to you guys is that we need to be more fluid with our SciComm. We need to be more fluid with how we promote and communicate science to the public, because the way that we consume content, and if 2020 is any example of this, the way that we consume content is changing so much. So if we keep doing the same thing, we're going to get left behind. And society needs us. We need science communicators to keep inspiring the next generation and to keep inspiring the current generation too. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more space content on your TikTok, follow me at AstroKirsten and I will see you there.
You know, I was getting so close to finally opening a TikTok account. And like I saw your videos and I saw Eloise's videos and I kept kind of holding back, and you saying now that it's a black hole for productivity, you might have convinced me. I'm opening a TikTok account tomorrow. Absolutely.
Excellent. Join the Space Fam on TikTok. It's lots of fun.
I definitely will. And I have to say that your comment about going through the diamond window absolutely took me back to my play school days. Thank you so much, Kirsten, for speaking to us and for waking up so early to share your story and to share your insights. This has been really great. So thank you.
My pleasure.